Alright, so welcome back. Now, what we're going to be doing, we're going to keep on with where we left off from. So, we're going back to the 5 or the 15-minute time frame. And as you can see, we have drawn two trends here. We have an uptrend and we have a downtrend. Right? So, what other things can we do in the chart, to help us to read it so that we can trade and make money? What I'm going to do is let me clean up the charts. Very good, so we can see it more clearly. Now let us practice a bit more. So what you have to understand too is that the trends, when they form, they don't just form up trends and down trends. We have something we call trend patterns. So a trend can form a pattern. For instance, a triangle pattern. It can form a descending pattern. It can form an ascending pattern. More of these things are in the price action book, which I put in the group. But if you download the price action book, you are then going to see, more closely what I mean. But let me show you an example. So over here, I'm going to draw a horizontal line above here, right here. And then I'm going to draw another line here. So what you can see here is that over here there is this ascending trend, right? The trend has not broken out yet, but it's ascending. So you see that the pattern is not necessarily upwards straight. So so the first pattern I drew was an uptrend. The second one was a downtrend. This one is called an ascending triangle. So this one looks like a triangle that is ascending, right? And there are other different types of patterns in there. So why do you have to know all of these? When you know all of these, that's when you can predict accurately where the market is going. You can better be able to decide where the market is going. All right, so that's all about trends that you need to know. All right, so now let's move on to another topic in chart analysis. Something I want us to talk about real quick is time frames. So what are time frames? Time frames, as the name implies, are simply different time, restrictions or viewpoints through which you analyze the chart. So on a MetaTrader, we have different time frames. We have 1 minute time frame, and they are grouped into smaller time frames and larger time frames. 1 minute time frame is the least time frame you find in most charting platforms like MetaTrader. So 1 minute means that on the 1 minute chart, you can access or see the live movements of the market in a very delicate form. So you see more closely what is going on, on the market on a 1 minute, as opposed to, let's say, a time frame like 5 minutes. So the higher you go into time frames, the more you zoom out in your chart, and the lower you go into time frames, the more you zoom in. So it's like a tool for zooming in to see closely what is going on. Now, one thing I also want you to understand is this, that in each time frame, each candle represents that time. So for instance, this is the 5 minute time frame. So each complete candle, right? So this single red candle here is 5 minutes in length. So basically that candle opened and closed, and the time it took to open and close is 5 minutes. Let's go to a higher time frame for me to explain more. Now let's go to 15 minutes. So in this 15-minute chart, what do you think the duration of this long candle here is, right? The duration of that candle represents 15 minutes. So it took 15 minutes for this candle to open and close. So on and so forth as you go to time frames. In each time frame, each candle represents that time or that amount of time in the time frame. Now, why do you need to know this? It's something that you need to know when you are trading so that you can better be able to, like I said, make proper judgments to know to be able to know where the price is moving towards, to be able to know when the next candle in this case is opening or closing. So now we are going to go to higher time frames. Let's go to 30-minute time frames. Right, so now we are in a 30-minute time frame, and as you can see, the chart just minimized so that we can have a closer view or a larger view, so that we can have a larger view of what is going on the market, so on and so forth. Let's go to 1 hour time frame. Now when you are drawing price action lines, right, when you want to draw trend lines like I was drawing, which time frame should you start from? Well, as a day trader, what you can do is that the better time frames to use are higher time frames, so use higher time frames for that. So we now go to 4 hour, and like I said, on each time frame, one candle represents the length of the time. So in the 4-hour chart, the same thing. Each candle represents a duration of 4 hours. Each candle has a duration of 4 hours. Now the last time frame here is last but one is daily time frame, and then there's a last one here in MetaTrader for mobile forex. We see as day traders, we don't really need too much of the highest time frames. They are really higher time frames like monthly time frames and yearly time frames for traders who want to trade, very long durations. But because we are day traders, we need only the day trading. Maybe the max time frame we need is the weekly time frame. We don't really need, we don't really need to go to the yearly time frame, or we don't really need to go to the monthly time frame, right? So the mobile forex MetaTrader app is fine for us as day traders. But if you go on the larger, if you go on the MetaTrader app on your computer, there you can have more time frames, right? You can experiment, you can explore time frames, you can go as high as you want to check out the charts and the patterns there. So that is about time frame. Okay guys, so now the last thing I want to talk about, right, a few more things I want to talk about is on the chart screen itself. So as you can see, on this area here, let me draw the red line to show you. This area here at the right side where I just drew the red line, you can see some numbers there. Those numbers that you see there are the prices of the current market that you are in. So when you load up any market, right, the prices are shown on the right side here, and beneath there are certain numbers today. You can see here 15th January. You can see 15th January typed here. Beneath shows you the date, right, the current date and the time. So let's go to a smaller time frame. This is why we go to smaller time frames. Now when we go to a smaller time frame, we can see 5th May. So this was last week. This was the just ended week, right? 5th May, and the time here is 17 o'clock, right? And we have 8 o'clock here, and we have 11 o'clock here. So you can see clearly, right, what time you are trading in, and also you can also see the prices. Why do you need to know time and price? If you read the ebook which I put in the group, the one about basics of forex, you understand that forex has to deal with time. There is a time when the market opens and there's a time when the market closes, and the prices too also tell you currently at what price you should enter, what price you should leave. It helps you basically make the sense of everything, because of course the price you're looking at what's currently happening in the market. You're looking at the price of the market, whether it's going to go higher, lower, and how it's drawing the chart, so on and so forth. So these two things are important to keep mind of. Now make sure that you read the forex ebook which I put there, especially the basics of forex, because that one is going to really give you the foundation knowledge for you to understand more everything that I'm talking about and everything that pertains to forex trading for you as a beginner, so that you can quickly come meet up to here and be trading as a super trader in no time. Now when you look in the gray, when you look in the chart, the white area, you can also see these gray lines, right? This faint gray lines, square gray. That's just to help you to make demarcations of increments in the times and also in the dates. So it's just a grid to guide you, your vision, so that you can better be able to see the charts. That's all. Now that is the end of this video. That's the end of Forex analysis for beginners, and I expect that you should read a book. By now you should have a working knowledge of how to open MetaTrader, how to analyze, basics, the chart in MetaTrader, and how you can also, basically start to predict price changes and price movements. More is going to come when you read the book. The two books I put there are going to have more information, and you'll be able to trade too. And also you should stick around in my group. We'll be trading, and as time goes on, as we are trading, you'll be learning more and you'll be picking up more from me. Peace out.